It's about goddamn time. C-Dub late. We gave you 30 extra minutes. He's still late.
What's good, baby?
What's happening, ladies and gentlemen? We finally are in the building. I know they're not sponsored by us, but I need a beer, boys. Jesus. Good Lord.
Oh, here we go. Here we go.
Yep. Is that kind of night?
Hey, this one's for you.
I ain't got no drink with
in that
me.
water.
You want do one for me, baby?
This is wine out the bottle. Y'all might as well just.
I just got H2O, man. You know.
Well,
it's been that kind of night. Hold on, let me swap us around here. I'm the host. Appreciate you guys.
Hey, I thought you said something else. I'm saying appropriate, but I didn't think you was gonna say it either.
Well, it is. Hit that like button, subscribe to the page. Appreciate you guys for tuning in and showing love. It has been a long process to get on the show today, but the show still must happen.
Must go on. Almost
we
gone,
still
baby.
got the squad in the building.
Yeah.
Big squad in the building. Big squad. We got the pettiest man alive, Miss P Kid is back. We don't know where he's been for 6 years. He just basically died. We got the super producer Joel Holt over there. He didn't even put no lighting on. He's so tired with all of this.
I don't have everything's over there.
I don't turning the lights on. We got JC. He's in a Frank Ocean album, basically.
Jay Grizz, GM to another GM.
Orange. Agent Orange, baby.
And C-Dub is in the basement of a correctional facility, but still here rocking the show, man. Appreciate you guys for tuning in the show. Love. Listen, reports are that belief around Chicago, or belief around the NFL, per Adam Schefter, I should say, is that Chicago will be drafting Caleb Williams. The feeling is right now that they will wind up trading Justin. Whether they do or not, we'll see, but that seems to be the feeling. Got to break that down. Also got to talk about, just the Kliff Kingsbury situation, and does that speak to the other side of this? What I still love about this is we can speculate on all of this, but Ryan Poles still got the cards right up to his face, boys. Like there's a conversation for both sides here, and you got to have the conversation on both sides, as we do here in the window. Oh, we lost Joel. He's gone. And then
he's out of here.
And then listen, Zach LaVine basically at the end of the day, season's done. What's going to happen with this?
Oh, you got Uno card. Got a lot of draw fours there.
Card.
How many draw fours you got there? How many Marvin Harrison Juniors are there?
You can't tell right now.
How many Marvin Harrison Juniors you got in there? And some edge rushers. All that and more in today's episode of the Windy City Breeze Sports Talk Daily, man. Hit the like button for everything we've been through. One thing I do want to say, I appreciate y'all that was rocking with us. There was like 70 people in there waiting for this show. That means we're building something that is really good, and that's why it meant so much to us to get here. Bears Junkie. Pat got on his favorite hoodie. What's going on, guys? Y'all not coming in here frying, dog. Let's jump into the first topic here, boys.
Real quick. We ended up having a technical difficulty that we did end up figuring out, so we're sorry about that. So moving forward, we should be good to go. Not sure what happened, but I was able to fix it.
Kid came back.
That's what
Kid walked in the door.
And
the petty man.
Oh, I'm Mr. Negative now. That's what I am.
Anytime you come back, something.
He's the cooler. when someone's getting hot, they send the cooler in.
They send the cooler in.
Oh God.
But let's jump into this topic, boys, because like I talked about, Adam Schefter basically saying that the feeling around the NFL is that the Chicago Bears will take Caleb Williams with the number 1 overall pick, trading Justin Fields. Now, he did say this right after. He says, whether they do or not, we'll see, but that seems to be the feeling. If that is the feeling, I think I have one of two questions on this, right? I have two questions pretty much, but number one, right? What does this do for the immediate of the Chicago Bears? And number two, how do you fix the rest of the holes that this team has? Because while we do still have money, some of these free agents that we're looking at and talking about aren't going to come cheap. So you got $49 million to work with. You got to sign Jalen Johnson. You got to sign Tevin Jenkins. There's a lot of pieces this Bears team still needs. But let's start it off. If the Bears do take Caleb Williams, what does this do in the immediate aftermath? Does this put the Bears in a better position right away?
By drafting Caleb Williams?
I would say if you're getting the same skill set, in a sense, you're basically getting the same type of production, and you got a coordinator, which we believe could develop a quarterback. What the heck is going on with Calvin?
He just got taken to the other world. He just got taken.
Take me to the other side. He went dark.
Dog, it's that kind of night, bro. It's that kind of night. Anyway, keep with your point, bro. He just got dragged under by the Undertaker, bro. That was
is my man good?
I don't know.
So I think that if you're getting the same production out of a person, and the whole point is if you're building a squad, I looked up the contracts. If you were to sign Caleb, for example, you're looking at an $8 to $9 million type of hit on the cap hit, like 8, 9. I think as it progresses,
you get more money on the books for sure, more to work.
So if you were to keep Justin, and if that's really the business decision that they end up making, you're talking like just comparing Danny Dimes' contract, $47 million, $60 million hit, that type of deal because of the cap, depending on how many years. So if you're getting the same type of production, I'm not mad that they have to do this, and I just think that where they are, it probably makes sense that you're not probably going to get in the same situation again. Getting the number 1 pick, which is pretty much a gift.
I think it's puts us in a better situation for the simple fact that, like you all mentioned, we have so many different hosts to fill in this, and we don't have to worry about one of the most expensive pieces on the board for a long time. And that's just the other side of the coin no one ever really considered. Everyone said, well, maybe Fields has it, this, that, and the other. It's like, be for real. We can still draft the good pieces with the rest of the draft capital that we have. We still can make moves with the rest of the draft capital. We still can get trade value for Justin Fields himself. But at the same time, we also can go out there and build the rest of the team around our young developing offense. If we were to draft, and I don't think it has to be Caleb Williams per se, but any QB that would come in there, maybe even Jaden Daniels, if they did make a move. I just think ultimately a QB is getting drafted. I know Caleb Williams is the guy. That's what they're saying, and I wouldn't be mad at it. But I think a QB period is getting drafted, and we're just moving on from Justin as a whole from that perspective. So,
well, he's your only option if you drafting a QB at number 1. I don't think you go Drake May number 1, or I mean, like you're going Caleb Williams number 1 if you're going number 1.
Yeah. If you're drafting Caleb Williams, you're saying that you're moving on from Justin. I mean, 100%. As far as draft capital, you're not going to get in as much back, and then you're probably saying what that's telling me is that you're committing to this offseason as the offseason to get everything done, because you're not going to get the future draft picks, maybe the number 1s that you could get in the next couple of years. You're committing to, okay, Caleb is our guy. We can get as much, like P. Kid said, as much as possible back for Justin, 2nd or 3rd round or whatever. Maybe somebody gets fleeced and we get a first for him, whatever. But you're devoting all of your attention to getting Caleb and whatever other picks you can, and then focus on free agency.
I think what's interesting about it too is that, right, the part that makes this tough is you're picking 1, you're picking 9. And I don't know, right? Like the Colin Cowherd thing, I'm not going to sit here and tell you that he's never talked to the family. I think he was wrong in his reporting. I stand by that because he came out 24 hours later and basically was like, they said basically what I said yesterday, that didn't mean anything. But what I think is interesting that came out of that was, right, it seemed like, they talked about a path where I believe we can be successful in Chicago, or when Caleb basically says, I believe that we could be successful in Chicago, or his team, I guess, where you draft a wide receiver 9, very similar to what the Chicago or the Houston Texans did, going CJ Stroud, Tank Dell. So now you're locked into drafting a wide receiver 9 because Caleb Williams feels like he needs more receiver help. We feel like he needs more receiver help, but you know what? Where are you going to get center help now? Because I don't sit here and love the center market. We going 2nd round for center. You don't have a 2nd round.
There's still decent receivers.
They got to.
We don't have a 2nd round pick.
We have a 3rd round though.
We have a 3rd round pick, right? Like trading back, you could possibly get your 2nd rounders back, and so that's why I'm saying, right, like going to get Caleb, fine. You feel like you got the quarterback of your future. You feel like you got the guy that's going to make things better. Fine. Doesn't change the holes that you have on this team. Doesn't change. Welcome back. Are you did you get dragged to the shadow realm, brother? Are you
got too many things on at the same time, man. Got to turn off some of this extra electricity, man.
Somebody turned on a microwave and it killed you, dog? Is that what happened right there? Like, what just happened?
Got a space heater on the wrong spot, man. So yeah, I'm back, baby. We good.
He finna freeze down there. But no, I feel like, right, when you're sitting there talking about kind of what the future is of this team and addressing those pieces, now because you're not trading back, now because you're not getting the future draft capital, you do have to address that in free agency. You got $49 million to work with roughly right now. You got to pay Jalen Johnson.
Mm-hmm.
Can't let him walk out the door. So are you not paying Jalen Johnson because you feel like you got DBs to keep people on? Yeah, I mean, like there's so many pieces you have to fill. It's easier to do that through the draft versus, yes, you're saving money on Justin Fields, but now you're not saving any money anywhere else. So it's going to be interesting for me to see if the Bears do follow through with Adam Schefter's report where they're believed to draft Caleb Williams #1 overall. Okay, now how do you fix the rest of this team? Because there's still a lot that needs to be done.
I mean, you have to be very strategic in the way that you draft.
Over 200 in the chat real quick.
Oh yeah.
Shout out to
y'all.
200.
30 at night, over 200. Appreciate y'all. Man.
Appreciate y'all, man, for rocking with us. What was I even saying? Yeah. So I think if you're going that route, then you have to be very strategic in all of your picks. I mean, you got to hit, and I mean, yeah. In Poles we trust, right? Poles has done a very good job, more so than not, in evaluating talent in the draft. Like you said, we don't have a second round pick. So does that mean, well, if we're keeping Caleb, we have to get a second round pick back for Justin Fields?
Yes, you're getting draft capital back for Justin Fields as well. The conversation has been teams are willing to give a second, possibly a fifth, and maybe a future third or something like that, some kind of compensation like that.
Yeah, absolutely. So if you're going that route, then you have to really do your homework, which is another reason. Low key, I actually mentioned this in the Bears Breeze. This is probably a good chance. Well, if Ian Cunningham stays around, you need as many good evaluators of talent in that room when you're making decisions come draft time. So if you're going to go that route and we don't get as much draft capital because we're not trading that first pick, then y'all need to get them picks right.
I think you got to look at it this way, though. With quarterbacks, there's going to be times during a season that a specific group or position will win games, right? Yep. There's going to be times the defense went lights out. There's going to be times the quarterback can win so many games. Yep. So in their mind, it's probably like watching like some of the greats do it where they might win 2 or 3 or 4 games by themselves. We got to be in a situation where we probably have a quarterback that could do that, which is probably why they're moving on. If they move on from Fields and take Caleb, they put a system in place to help develop this guy because he clearly has something about him. Because I feel like the unfortunate part of this whole like narrative with Caleb Williams is, are we actually giving him the respect that he probably deserves of being a Heisman winner? Is he on the Andrew Luck? Is he on the Andrew Luck like the respect?
I don't know about that.
Well, I'm just saying, but
I don't know if I've seen that yet. But
that's still out there.
I'm just saying, but if he is. There's a skill set that he does provide if he's able to maybe get the ball out a little bit quicker, because that's really the only knock on Fields. And so in their mind, if you're resetting the clock and they want someone that can win games, because it's like you got to have a guy. I think Pat Mahomes has shown you, Tom Brady has shown you, when you have the guy, you know, you can try to win and insulate that. Like you can win 1 or 2 here, like Russell Wilson's won, Trent Dilfer has won. Eli Manning had a great team around him and has won. You know, I think that's the situation. We're trying to get somewhere we can have some type of sustained excellence moving forward.
I would piggyback off of that and say C.J. Stroud has shown you what happens when you have a guy or a young guy that could come in and take the league by storm. And I see a lot of this in the chat, like we got to get the Hall and stuff like that. You already got the Hall. Like, let's be for real. We don't have DJ Moore if we don't trade back stuff. You already got the
It doesn't mean the haul ain't still there.
It doesn't mean that
the
either.
haul is still there. The belief is that this haul is bigger than the last haul. It's really just about how greedy you want to get with it.
You can fleece for another 2 years.
Could be. But you already, like, sometimes you can actually be a victim of your own greed. Like, you already got the haul. Like, if Poles doesn't do anything but just use the picks as is, you already got the haul. You already built out this team and secured more draft capital down the line. We got more picks from Carolina apparently next season. But I forgot. I thought it was this season. It's like you already got the haul. Like, you can't get too cute. And again, the window and the leash for a lot of GMs ain't as long as it used to be. I don't care what anyone says. And we're in such new territory for the Chicago Bears. Can't nobody sit there and tell me what we're going to do. We don't know. But we do know that the pressure is on. And if you get too cute with trading back and you got these pieces that hit, people are going to start looking at, okay, so you passed that up to get cute and that happened. Like, if another CJ Stroud walks through, that's a whole different conversation. You can sit there and excuse away anything, but it's like that talent is there.
But the problem is
with what we have.
That's
a reality.
Yeah, but the problem is, like, yes, you can get the haul, but if you get a talent that is still a talent, and maybe it's not right. Like, for me, I look at this year's draft. Right, everybody said go get Jalen Carter. I'd rather have Darnell Wright because I know we can find 3 techniques. I'm not worried about it. Jalen Carter's really good. Jalen Carter had a little. He slowed down. Yeah, he's good. He slowed down a little bit toward the end of the season, but I'm not going to take away that he played good, had a really good rookie year.
Well, he's immature. I think he was more of an immature kid that was not ready to take that lead as a leader of the defense. But you need
20.
a 3 technique.
I don't think that everybody is there, but I would rather have Darnell Wright in this draft because I'm making an investment in my offense. My GM said we need to improve the offense. Guess what? If we come out of this draft with Marvin Harrison Jr. and they go on and somebody takes CJ Stroud or somebody takes Caleb Williams, and Caleb Williams looks really good, and Justin Fields can look good here too, with weapons and a center. And like, I think there's still options for you to get the haul and improve here and improve the rest of your team out. Everybody keeps talking about, you got to save money here. You got to save money here. You're not saving money. You're spending all of this money this offseason. We will not come into next offseason with the same amount of money that we came into this offseason because you're paying pieces that are going to be here long term. It's either going to be Justin Fields and Jalen Johnson, or it's going to be you're paying a 3 technique to come in. You're paying Jalen Johnson, I hope we pay no matter what. But now you're paying a center to come in. Now you're paying, like you're spending the same amount of money.
Hey, but you got to look at it like this too. And I agree with that. So here's the thing though, kid. Like, bro, like we got an opportunity. I know it's a generational talent out there potentially. We could potentially get a generational haul back in terms of so many picks that we can get. And you got to think about the fact that this team is already kind of gelled together. It's already built. If you do bring in Caleb Williams, there's a good chance that we might not make the playoffs because maybe, rookie quarterbacks don't always pan out. And so then, all right, well, so Eberflus is putting his job on the line because if they don't make the playoffs this year, he's gone. And so then what you got is next year a brand new coach and a brand new, a brand new staff. And so why we got to keep shuffling this thing over and over again? Why not just keep what we already got? And I know I'm speaking on
because what you have isn't good.
I'm
gonna just say it. It's just what you have isn't great.
Are you referring to Justin Fields?
Justin Fields hasn't shown you with his arm that he is great. He hasn't shown you with his arm that he's.
Do you think he's had the opportunity?
He's a great athlete, but again, my quarterback should wow me with his arm, impress me with his legs. He hasn't wowed me with his arm.
Okay, but statistically, do you think he's had the opportunity to show that when he's only throwing 18 attempts a game?
He could be a victim of circumstance all day long, and that's a tough deal for him, right?
He is a victim.
So then you have to give him a fair shot.
That's the real thing,
I've always agreed that he's a victim of circumstance. I've never said that he had a fair shake. You've never heard me say that.
It's not
so
that.
Then how can you evaluate that he's great then? Or he's
George, you're passing up on. Listen, how do you build San Fran if you have to pay Brock Purdy MVP money right now?
This is my favorite argument. This is my no. I got it. All right, this is my favorite argument.
How do you do it?
How do you do it? The team was built already. You want to know why? The team was built while Jimmy G was already there. You know what they added?
And what did they pay Jimmy G?
Huh?
Don't walk it past him. What did they pay Jimmy G?
Jimmy had a contract.
They paid Jimmy G $26 million.
All right, what would they have to pay Fields if we were to sign him?
$26 million.
And
if not more.
That's not.
And you don't have to do it this year.
His 5th year option is $26 million.
You're talking about 5th year. We're talking about this is the thing.
Thank you. We're not talking about just 5th year.
3 year.
We're right now, we're talking about picking up his 5th year option. We're not talking about paying him for 10 years.
Right. I think look, we all wanted. I'd rather that Justin see it all the way through, and if he was able to make it and get the contract, and he's our quarterback of the future, and then we could move into the sunset with him. Great. But I think the situation is how often do you get the number 1 pick? And you right, but this I don't think it happens a third time for them, and that they have to move on. Where it's like, look, the business is we don't have to pay them all this money. In a sense, it sucks that we can't, but we got to win now. You only have 3 years.
I agree with you. Here's what I ask you: how you fix the rest of it? You got $49 million to work with. You about to pay Jalen Johnson 22 of it.
I think you trade Jalen Johnson.
You get all these picks back from trading his first pick.
You think you trade Jalen Johnson?
I'm just asking. How do you fix the rest of it?
Because you can draft a cornerback. You've shown that you can draft cornerbacks.
You're paying Jalen Johnson. He's 24 years old. He's developed here. You're not going to let him walk out the door for nothing.
I'm just saying. I'm saying for
at the worst you tag him. At the worst you tag him.
How do you fix the center position?
Right. The whole point is we have to draft.
I'm asking
300 in the chat.
There's literally
300 in the chat.
Dark Man said I'm mad at PK.
You have to trade Fields to get us if you can get a 2nd round pick to get your center. You have to come out as draft center. So I think they're going to stay with Braxton. It looks like they're going to stay with him, and they might stay with the 3 technique, but we need a defensive end for sure. They might keep.
So you got to go. Javon. So you got to go pay a defensive end.
Yeah, probably pay a defensive end.
You got to pay a 3 technique.
Maybe not. They might keep Javon, but see y'all. They're gonna probably cut Eddie Jackson. They're probably gonna cut Cody Whitehair. That's saving a lot. That's saving a lot of money.
Mm-hmm.
You're adding about $8 to $9 million in there.
You're subtracting about 14, and I think it's. You're
right,
almost $30 million.
But they still have dead cap numbers.
Yeah. All right. Well,
my point is, how do you fix the team if you don't have the money to fix the team? And yeah, maybe they do. Maybe they go out and they hit on every single draft pick.
Mm-hmm.
But you gonna start a rookie center?
Why are you expecting perfection out of this draft? Is what I'm asking. Like, there's no perfect team in the NFL. And the teams that are near perfect, the one issue they have might be quarterback.
And the Texans showed you that it may not. It's not about just about growth.
Are you gonna start a rookie center?
Probably, if he's a top dude.
I mean, if you get him through the draft, you would have to.
So then here's the thing. So then you're not expecting to win next year.
And Eberflus
is just snap the ball.
I wouldn't say that.
I wouldn't say that.
If you're starting a rookie center,
what does this do? Just snap the ball appropriately, right?
Put it right down there.
I appreciate that simplification of it there, Joel.
I'm gonna show you.
Hardest position in football. Appreciate that simplification of it.
Not up here, down there.
Hey, listen, we spend all off season doing it. It's okay. It's gonna work out.
Yeah. It's just
now. I will admit, I will agree with Dark Mind. Now he says cutting Cody Whitehair and Bojack will save you about $20 million. So it's not like we're stuck in the cap that we have right now. Like, we can add on to that.
You literally can use the picks you have and build the team and fix majority of the stuff that y'all say is wrong.
Which is why I say you draft that number 1
let's
pick.
Get this beautiful haul, and this it don't have to be that.
But
we can literally just
Williams,
use what we have. We already did the.
But
fleecing.
if you trade the pick,
but why would, if you're a GM
more?
You already know if I'm GM. I'm taking the pick.
I know, but what I'm saying is that's not good business. If you're in a position where you can fleece the league 2 years in a row, you're telling me that you're going to be okay. You're just going to sit on the fact that you only got DJ Moore.
Let's walk this down. How many times has that happened in history?
If you're in a position where you got the 2nd year in a row, the number 1 pick, and they potentially are trying to move up for a more generational talent than C.J. Stroud and Bryce Young.
Does it happen in history? You want to know why this?
It could when you do it.
Because if I didn't have questions of whether or not Justin can make the leap for me, this wouldn't be a conversation.
Yes, but
if we just had the number 9 pick, this wouldn't be a conversation.
Listen, but I think,
if I had the number 3 pick,
that's not the case.
But here's my problem with all of it. Here's my problem with all of it. Everybody
says it's supposed to be Andrew Luck.
But here's my problem with all of it. Everybody wants to sit there and say, "Oh, he's gonna be this. He's guaranteed to do this." Blah blah blah. And then look at the teams that have had those quarterbacks that have had that same stigma on them, and how willing they were to go away from it, like the one in the Super Bowl.
Let me ask you a question.
They were talking about Trey Lance as an elite quarterback. That's why they took him so high. They were talking about him as elite. No, and then literally this week
he broke his foot and Brock Purdy stepped up. It's like,
it didn't matter. You want to know why? Because they just put out a video on the way to the Super Bowl, and Kyle Shanahan, or the GM said, Kyle Shanahan walked into his office and said, "We got a problem here, boys. The dude we just took at the last pick in the draft is the best quarterback on this team right now. Jimmy G was still on the team."
Hey, somebody said a good comment, though. Somebody said a good comment, bro. They said this ain't the NBA. Let me ask you a question, right? If this was LeBron, since it's generational talent, if LeBron was coming in this draft and the Bulls had the #1 overall pick, are there any doubts? Are there any questions? Is anybody talking about
basketball is different?
Correct. One, my point is that you got a player that's supposedly generational. The fact that we're even talking about trading back, telling you that we don't necessarily have to have the greatest quarterback of all time in order to be a successful team going forward.
Basketball is too hard of an analogy.
Right.
Yeah, you can't compare basketball because like LeBron showed up in Cleveland and was better than all the veterans on the team. Like that's different.
Football, you need more. You do have to have talent clearly in football, but there's so many other pieces around that. But the thing is that building this squad, you save so much money if you do take Caleb, so that you can go ahead and buy the other pieces you need on this team. And if you're getting this similar play out of the quarterback position, then I see that's probably why they would probably make that move.
If it's comparable play with a rookie QB in my 3rd, 4th year QB, guess what? I'm taking the other option. I'm saving me some money and I'm moving forward because guess what?
Then I'm keeping the guy that everybody already loves.
That's good business.
So Jordan, this is what I think. Wait, I want to say this.
We got to take a break. We'll come back on the other side, keep the conversation going. Look at it from the maybe they floated some news out there. Some news out there. Little maybe Poles is playing games with the card. Where the cards at, Joe? What playing games with the card? Maybe Ryan Poles. Okay. What you got on the other side of those cards there, Poles?
Hey,
Well, you
don't show it now.
Joe. See, that's why we don't give Joe the cards, bro. Are you drinking wine out of the bottle?
You're not supposed to show your
right back after this. I'll be on the other side of this one. Appreciate you guys for tuning in and watching the show. Today's episode of the podcast is brought to you by Aura. Have you ever done a Google search on your own name? You'd be surprised what pops up. Your full name, email address, home address, health records, your relatives. It's all out there. And that's why I've been using Aura, the sponsor of today's video. Aura shows me which data brokers are selling my information and automatically submits opt-out requests just for me. Cleaning up my information not only helps reduce the amount of spam I get, but it protects me from hackers who could use that information to help them access my social media, bank accounts, and other sensitive information. It's really simple to set up. I don't have to download several apps or go to things like antivirus, VPN, password management, parental controls, identity theft, but you can get all of that in one place with Aura. I get everything at one affordable price as well. You may already have one or two of these tools, but not having Aura is like leaving the front door locked while leaving the back door and windows wide open. For you to be able to take advantage of Aura, we got a special deal for you here today. Stop data brokers from exposing your personal information. Go to my sponsor at https:/aura.com/the Windy City. Again, that is aura.com/the Windy City to get a 14-day free trial and see how much of your information is being sold. All right. We having a great conversation here. I mean, we got different cards. Oh, he was playing the game. He was playing a different game. He was showing you one card to throw you off. Now he's got completely different cards in his hand. Oh, King Poles knows what he's doing. And ladies and gentlemen, that is why it is in Poles we trust around here. Yeah, look at him lips waiting for it. Oh man,
shout out to Jake Crick
in the show of love.
I appreciate y'all, man.
Hit that like button, subscribe to the page, man. Leave that 5-star review. Y'all know what to do.
So real quick, my thing with Jordan was this. The only issue is
can I reset up the topic here? Can we do this professionally?
Because I got to jump in. I let you know what I'm saying. I got the whole point. Jordan was that.
It's getting frantic tonight.
Don't jump in when you producing the show. Let me run the show. All right, give it a say. All right, so we're talking about. Good Lord.
What?
Talking about Justin Fields and basically how. It seems like the report is that Schefter is dropping out there that Caleb Williams is going to be number one. The expectation around the NFL is that Justin Fields will be traded. Joel, what is the point that you're chomping at the bit to get out there? Go ahead, Joel. Ladies and gentlemen.
No one interrupt Joel.
Joel, hold on. I got him. Wow, there you go.
What I was trying to say is
he's got this card.
So what I was trying to say, no, my point was that you just don't know which, like this draft is strong in certain positions. So the whole point is I totally was of all for trading as many picks as we can and build. But the problem is that you can't sacrifice the rest of your team as you're trying to win now. And who's to say if it's the Shedeur sweepstakes next year, it looks like the Manning kid may not be out for another 2 years because the Texas guy came back. So it's like, yeah, Ewers, I think, came back for Texas. So Arch Manning is not, he won't be available. So it's like they probably thinking we got to take him now. And when's the next time you're going to get a number one pick 2 years in a row? Because otherwise you'd have to fleece like the Raiders for them to be bad to get that number one pick again. Because who else you going to trade to? So that's all I was saying.
Here's one thing. Here's one thing I do want to ask though, guys, because I think this is interesting because this basically comes out, what we say, about 2 hours, maybe 3 hours after everybody's up in arms about the Kliff Kingsbury hire basically becoming official. Everybody, oh my goodness, Kingsbury to Washington. He's sitting right behind him. We know what he wants to do. He wants his quarterback back. Did the hire maybe show a little bit of Washington's hand, and could this be the Bears floating some information out there? A little gaslight action, trying to say, oh, you want them? Nah, we want them. But if you want them, you can have them. But we want them. But if you want them. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not gonna lie. It was hilarious to me because I was like, man, this came out really quick. Like all of a sudden, like it's just like the consensus is that the Bears are in on Caleb. Like I don't think we've heard a report from Adam that definitive about the situation. That it's just they're gonna trade Justin, they're gonna take Caleb, and then he finishes it with, "But we don't know. We won't know until they do it."
I think it's honestly just coincidence, simply because seeing how the Raiders situation broke down with them on that third year, and the Commanders were willing to give it to him. Mm-hmm. I think that's just it. I mean, Kliff Kingsbury was a good OC. I think everyone would agree with that. They just didn't. I mean, the Kyler situation is Kyler. No one really likes Kyler. No one here likes Kyler.
Kyler's a good quarterback. Kyler's a bad leader.
I like him.
Kyler's a bad leader.
Kyler's a good quarterback.
That is true. He's a bad leader. I thought his performance was decent.
No one here likes Kyler. I think that kind of is just how it boiled down. He got the short end of that stick, but like realistically, no one looked at Kliff and said he can't do the job. Like we would take Kliff over Getsy.
That's not saying a lot.
I mean, it's not saying a lot, but like we would have done it.
No, I would.
I think he's actually a talented
I would have taken. I'm not gonna lie. I'd take Kliff over Shane Walter. I wanted Kliff.
Yeah,
I wanted Kliff. I thought Kliff was the best OC of the bunch. The hope is, and what they've said about Shane Waldron is that Shane Waldron's the guy that's going to get the most out of his QB in every aspect.
Yeah, we're talking about development.
And you've seen that.
You've seen it, right? Like he like literally he got Russell Wilson to throw over the middle. Mm-hmm. Like Russell Wilson does not throw over the middle.
He should.
he does not throw over the middle.
I will say this though, like I even think again, it doesn't even have to be Caleb, but like QB. I think the Justin Fields saga is over, though. I think that part is over. I don't care if it's Caleb or not. I think that is what it is. So even if they do, and I don't think the Commanders are in a position where they have to trade up. Like the Commanders can stay where they are, not risk their future, and still get a QB for themselves. Like, how many teams are going to trade up? Like, you trade up with the Bears, great, but I'm still number 2.
Well, I think
getting a QB. If I don't have Caleb,
the thing is right.
Jake Daniels is the next QB.
The conversation is about hitting the ground running.
You don't have to.
The conversation is about hitting the ground running, though. You know what I mean? Like, that's because in Washington, here's the one thing that I do know, and this is the part why I think that this could be something legitimate as far as the Bears still being willing to trade a pick. Why I feel like this showed Washington's hand by hiring Kliff Kingsbury, because to me, you have a team that wants to win now. You want to know why? Because Magic Johnson is there. Every team Magic Johnson buys, they go all in. Everybody's like, why would they do all of this? Why would they want to be? Because Magic Johnson is a dude that's like, we're not going to lose for 3 years and build something.
He want to win. Yeah.
He went to the Dodgers. The Dodgers start spending money. Like, it was like, we got some nice players here. You know, go get Kershaw. Wait, whoa, wait a minute. You know how much that costs? What else we going to do? Go get Ohtani. Oh, my goodness. Hey, calm down, Matt. So I think that there's a situation there where you look at the people who own the team, and everything that they've talked about has been winning right away. Winning right away might be pairing up the quarterback that comes from college with a coach that, I mean, I don't know how close they were. From what I'd heard, they weren't close, but then I saw Caleb yesterday basically going, you know, he put on the Instagram after Kliff got hired, my dog. Mm-hmm. I mean, like, I don't know if that means anything, but like, yeah, I mean, like,
it means nothing to me. I mean, like, gorillas, they were in the same organization, they know each other. It just is what it is. Like, he congratulated someone he knew. That's all I looked at. Like,
Ebony Sales said, Sam Howell and Drake May are air raid QBs. That's why Kliff is in there. We hire Waldron, now draft Williams, and sign Russell Wilson. Signing Russell Wilson is an interesting aspect of that. Here, Ebony's been on that before.
Yeah, I'm good.
You see what Jay Chris said? Like, you paid $20.
You paid $20 for that. And he drops the Rick James line. Shout out to Ebony. Did I do over 400 in the chat, by the way?
Nope.
No.
Oh, let's get it.
We got 400 in the chat.
Oh, hold up.
You telling me we got to go live later? Because it's a lot of people.
Hey, that's what it looks like, bro.
I was about to say, we need to have technical difficulties all the time.
Hey, I'm not going live no later. I'd be tired at night. But, I'm doing 9 shows a day out here, boys.
I still got food I'm trying to eat.
9 shows a day out here. No, but I feel like this is a not to say that they're all in on Kliff Kingsbury, but I do think there is something to be said about, hey, we know what you can do with a quarterback. We've seen what you can do with a quarterback in the NFL. We've seen how you go about developing QBs in the NFL. They may not be great leaders, but at a minimum, one, he's not the head coach in this situation. He's the OC. And at a minimum, they go out there and put up good numbers. We need that here. We need that excitement here because that sells tickets. You get Caleb Williams, you got Caleb Williams, Washington, right? Like, why did Pittsburgh draft Kenny Pickett? It made no sense. It made no sense to draft Kenny.
They needed a QB.
They did. They were.
I mean,
they
they had
leveraging
Trubisky
from.
They needed a QB.
Roethlisberger.
They needed a QB, and every single one of us looked at Kenny Pickett in college and went, ugh.
Yeah, no, mediocre.
Well, I did.
Why did they draft him? Because he grew up in Pittsburgh.
Swing and a miss.
He went to Pitt.
Hometown.
And you knew you was going to be able to sell them Pickett jerseys in Pittsburgh.
And now they all say interception. Anyway.
Kenny throw a pick,
baby. You know his name, Kenny throw a Pickett. So I think they're setting themselves up for that.
Brandon Green says he's close to lunch in Japan. You in Japan, bro?
Brandon out in Japan.
Oh yeah, Brandon Green was in here last time with that.
Out in Japan, man.
That's what's up.
But no, I feel like you're in a situation where Washington is looking to do something like that. Not to say that Caleb's not talented and he won't have success there, but they know what else comes with drafting him in Washington.
What you know would be hilarious? The Bears trade down to 2 with Washington, so they take Drake May. We take
Bro, if we take Drake May, I promise you.
Let's just say
we get Caleb anyway.
We get Caleb anyways and move to 2. Ain't got the
Why did you? Hey, we would literally all be sitting there on draft day like, why'd you go with that bar?
That would be hilarious.
We
all win. We get a quarterback, right?
Hey, I can tell you this right now. Whoever's going 1 is taking Caleb. You're not moving up for any other, because you feel like I think the tough part is, and what does make this such a tough decision for Ryan Poles, for everybody involved in this, is there is a gap. And I've said this as I'm watching the tape on these guys. Drake May is not where Caleb Williams is. Jaden Daniels is not where Caleb Williams is.
True.
Doesn't mean Caleb Williams doesn't have his flaws, but he is by far the best quarterback that I've seen in this draft.
The eye test tells you that.
If Jaden Daniels didn't win Heisman, he wouldn't be in the conversation in the top 10. Let's just be honest.
Of course. Well, you deserve that respect when you win a Heisman.
Yeah.
And I think it's all about a floor and a ceiling, right? Each quarterback has a floor and a ceiling. So if
but the fact that Caleb won Heisman in 22, but then he took a step back and is still considered to be the number 1 pick, that says a lot.
Also
that's
had
what I'm saying.
Worse offensive
but it's
team
also,
that's true too.
Team,
that's true too.
It's that. It's the same thing with Fields. It's like it feels really bad, but it's a victim of circumstance. If you can put him in so you had to give Caleb that benefit of the doubt. Now I remember seeing the Notre Dame game. And I saw that a lot of pressure, they got after him and he was not able to overcome that. And so what you're looking for is like the Superman, and it's like they're all fallible. Andrew Luck was a great talent, but he kept getting hit. He kept getting hurt, and he pretty much retired early.
And he'd compliment him every time. He'd be like,
good sack. But, they still couldn't protect him. And I think the only difference is this is one of the very few situations where the Bears are actually not that bad of a team getting the number 1 quarterback, where most of the time it's a Panthers team that's totally bad. The cupboard is bare. They have nothing here. And so it would be like him going to Carolina. So he has a better chance to actually succeed here. And unfortunately, it's Justin keeping the seat warm for Caleb, if that's the case.
Well, and that's what it turns into. And I said this, I think when we did our trade destinations for Justin Fields, if the Bears were to trade Justin, the biggest question is Justin Alex Smith? Is Justin Drew Bledsoe? Is Justin, right? The guy that had to take all the lumps that when you started to see the successes coming, he was a part of it, but he's not the guy that's going to get the full benefits. And that's the part where that is something that could be true, because it's not to say you can't. I think the harder route to building this team is trading away Justin Fields, because more bites at the apple is right, especially when you've seen 2 years of draft evaluations and how the Bears have gone about it. We've got picks all the way down to 5th rounders that we feel can play in the NFL in 2 seasons. Like, that means they're doing something right in the building. But now it's like, okay, if you take this guy, are you still going to be able to find those pieces? Can you fill out your roster just as well in year 3? Like, there's a lot riding on this draft, because I think the free agency aspect of it, like you said, people are going to want to be here because it's better. You're going to have more opportunity because it's better. Caleb, I think we'll view Caleb coming here how we viewed Anthony Richardson. Right? Anthony Richardson going to the Colts felt like a good situation, and then all of a sudden he just destroyed his shoulder by just running into people.
Maybe we have a different opinion on Anthony Richardson.
More of a project.
That was the worst draft.
I thought he was more of a project.
Well, I thought, not to say I thought that he was a great draft pick, but I thought he'd have the best chance of success because you got a number 1 wide receiver there. You got a number 2 wide receiver there. You got offensive line pieces there. Now they end up getting banged up, right? But like, you had pieces there that were in place.
But the knock on him was that he was almost in the Trubisky camp of not as many starts. He was a true project, and he was regressing to running, which got himself hit. He got hurt.
He wasn't regressing. That's all he did. Like, I don't know if they watched his college tape. Yes, he had time.
I'm saying he never had. He wasn't in a position to really learn the offense, which is what we wanted with Justin, is that he can learn the offense and be able to methodically move the pocket from the pocket, and then use your legs as an alternative, as a weapon. If Caleb if his floor is around the same, but then he has a ceiling that lets him go all the way there.
Yeah.
You know, and I think that's the situation.
I got a question. Have the Bears ever been in this position to draft a QB of this skill set this high?
Nope.
Ever?
Nope.
Yes, we have.
Nope.
Knowingly, I would say no.
Knowingly.
Hindsight.
We could have took Donovan McNabb.
What over?
Literally, Donovan McNabb was like, "I'm going home."
He went 2.
No, they vetoed the trade. What's his name? Vetoed the trade. Who's our old president?
Yeah.
Phillips.
We were going to move up to go get Donovan McNabb, and he was like, "I'm not spending that."
Let me ask you.
That's not the same. It's one thing to trade. We're talking about earning the number 1 pick. The highest they ever had was 3 when they got Trubisky. They traded up to 2 to get him.
Hey, I'll tell you one. You want to know who we could have traded? We could have traded. Who we could have drafted? We could have drafted Aaron Rodgers.
Well, anybody could.
Well, yeah. Over Alex Smith.
Anybody could have. Yeah, it was Alex Smith 1, and everybody else down to 25.
Vernon mentioned it the most. We could have had
running back. I'm sick of this.
So I guess my question
we could have had Deshaun Watson.
The whole reason I even asked that is like we've never been in this position to even draft this level of talent. And the one that you did say we could, you would have drafted him, Donovan McNabb. Like
you could have drafted Deshaun Watson too.
Yeah, Deshaun Watson.
Oh yeah, we could have drafted Watson.
We could have got him outright
except John Fox.
We could have got outright at 3.
Hey, Jay Christian Brady.
Oh yeah, we could have drafted.
Everybody could have drafted Brady 5 times over.
Like
that last in the draft. We could have grabbed
exactly.
Brady.
We could have drafted Dak Prescott realistically.
Could have
drafted Lamar Jackson.
But see, what we're looking at is almost similar to the Colts and the Peyton Manning and Leaf draft, right? Because it's like, well, what do we do? Now they were probably closer. Like everybody's saying clear cut. This is Caleb Williams.
Yeah.
So now we're talking. Now it's Caleb Williams versus Justin Fields. But the problem is we don't know what your boy is doing because he ain't saying nothing.
One of those cards. What's behind those cards?
He ain't saying nothing.
I think that just makes it easier for me because it's like, hey, you know, you have the opportunity now to be that person who does change that narrative for Chicago. And at the same time, like we say Patrick Mahomes. Have y'all actually looked at the scouting report and all the reports around? They trashed Mahomes.
Yeah, he came from an air raid offense. Texas Tech wasn't one of those teams that they were looking at.
Yeah, but you know what? I think here's the thing. That I would say, if anything, that's the draft that broke the trust. You know who the number 1 pick in that draft was touted to be?
You talking about Deshaun Kaiser?
Deshaun Watson.
Deshaun Kaiser.
Oh, you talking about?
Deshaun Kaiser. Oh my God.
Deshaun Kaiser was touted the best quarterback in that draft. You want to know who number 2 was?
Trubisky.
That's why people don't trust the experts. That's why people don't believe in the experts, because you can sit here and say, these guys they're doing this and they're making this happen. And I've never seen a quarterback do this in my life. You got to do. Okay.
Well, that's for media. We don't know what they're saying behind the closed doors. Actually, we got a shout out to the Super
Watson.
Chat.
It was called
what order did they take the quarterbacks in, though?
My bad. I talked over you. I didn't hear you.
I said, what order did they take the quarterbacks in, though?
He's about for Trubisky.
Trubisky
like 12 and 15 or something.
Yeah, I mean, like what I'm saying is, like,
10th.
Trubisky was 2. 11th. Everybody was like, Trubisky's the guy. I didn't even know who Trubisky was. I ain't gonna lie to you. I looked it up. Bro, when they kept saying that, and I always say this, Mel Kiper hypes up 1 white quarterback a year. He's got to do it. It must be contractual. Like I guarantee you, we're gonna get to the draft day.
JJ McCarthy does a black QB, we should be worried.
JJ McCarthy gonna be in the top 10.
Hey Pat, moment he does a black QB, we should be worried.
Maybe not.
Because Jameis Winston, I think, was highly touted.
I wasn't saying that. I wasn't saying that, but
what was I gonna say?
The super chat. Niners aren't a guide to build around Fields. They traded multiple picks to move up and get their QB when the team was ready. They chose wrong, though. But I think that's the thing. The team was ready, right? Like everybody,
that's their scout department.
Everybody talks about the Niners as if the Niners were built around Brock Purdy. The Niners were built around Jimmy G. Jimmy G couldn't stay healthy. Mm-hmm. Like literally, they was like, "All right, bro, like, can you snap up? He's dead." Oh, okay, all right. Let's go get Trey.
Trey Lance,
we can build around Trey. Mobile guy. He's got the arm. Here we go. Let's go. Oh, he's dead. Jesus Christ, what we got going on?
But I think
Sam
the problem
Bradford. Here we got Sam Bradford. Sam's dead. Somebody put Brock out there.
That's
Brock,
what QBs go to die, huh?
What do you got? Like,
Hey,
bro,
apparently that team was so well built that they went through 3 of them. So I guess that O-line was
bro. They started 4 QBs before they started Brock.
Yeah.
Like they went through everybody, like literally, the GM was talking about because he was like the last thing you wanted. The GM or the owner, I don't remember. No, it had to be the owner because it wasn't John Lynch. John Lynch is the GM. He literally was like, the last thing you ever want to hear is the dude you just traded so much draft capital for is not the best quarterback on the roster. And he said Shanahan walked in and was like, "There's one dude here that can run my system, and it's the dude that we took with the last pick in the draft."
But it's such a hard thing to measure of like scouting, right? I mean, it's Daniel Jones in New York and getting
we never thought about that.
No, the Manning brothers co-signed this dude. You know what I'm saying? Like,
that just ruined their credibility forever, bro.
It did. What you saying
to me? Hey, I'm looking at Arch like he can't be it.
You know, but
looking real Bronny-esque.
Yeah.
Hey, I got a. Okay, I got a question. Going back to the whole Caleb Williams hype and generational theme that we always give him. Here's another reason why I think that we need to make sure that we trade out of that pick, because I believe that the most generational player in this draft is Marvin Harrison Jr. So when if you're going back to 3, then you're addressing all these other quality positions that we need to, instead of trying to bank on Caleb Williams.
I would say Marvin Harrison. I don't see generational is thrown around too much. Way too much. It
is.
I would say Marvin or MHJ.
One of the best receivers.
Maybe the most NFL ready.
I believe he's definitely the most NFL ready in this draft, but I would say he's coming out similar to Jamar Chase. I'm not going to say he's better than Jamar Chase. I do think he can be better than Justin Jefferson, but I think he's coming out very similar to Jamar Chase.
I know exactly why PK just did that, though. Because we all say JJ is the number 1 wide receiver in the league.
Oh, Jamar Chase got on the team and they went to a Super Bowl.
Yeah, so
no, I agree with that. I just think individual talent. I think
Jamar Chase,
if he's anywhere near Jamar Chase,
hey, listen. Jamar Chase joined the team, and that team went to the Super Bowl the next year.
You're right. You're absolutely right.
Justin Jefferson went to a team that had an offensive line, a quarterback that you think is a pretty freaking good quarterback. I was just about to say,
you know who they had a quarterback.
Kirk Banks, baby.
Hey, a second wide receiver, a defense.
Kirk Banks, baby.
Hey, Crit, there go your mid right there.
Hey, you know what round Kirk Banks got to?
Hey, he got to a playoff game. That's all that matter, baby. He showed up just as much as Lamar Jackson showed up.
Get him out of there. Let me get Jamar Chase all day, bro. But
no team is one.
No matter who you have as number 1, I don't think he comes into the league as the number 1 guy, is my point. I don't think MHJ comes into the league as the number 1 guy. And so I can't say you generational, right? Randy Moss walked into the NFL and everybody started looking at him and was just like, ooh.
He different.
Hey, by the end of this year, he might be the best receiver in the league.
You know what we should do? I like how like people have been bringing up how like the numbers have shown like only 20% of number 1 picks have won, 20% of what I want to say
that is true. It's a true stat.
What I want to say is that if I'd like to break down the scenarios of why that didn't work with those, right? Like of all the number 1 picks, because a lot of them there are a lot of situations where these guys are going to bad situations. They're either getting hurt, their careers are getting cut short. So it's not necessarily an indictment that number 1 pick and they end up busting out. A lot of times it's they went to the wrong team with the wrong coach or the wrong GM, whatever. So this is one of those rare situations where I think with Caleb coming here, we have an offense put in place, a team that's growing and building, and they actually might fix this offseason. They could fix at least the offensive line and the defensive line. Actually, we didn't even talk about. We probably got to talk about the upcoming, maybe the free agents for like the D line.
Yeah, we do. We can get into that as well. Let me pull this up here real quick, boys. Got to go full screen here. I got to do a little work here real quick. We got that ad read there.
Like out of all the QBs chosen number 1 overall, like half of them are Hall of Famers or something like that.
What?
Or Pro Bowlers?
No, only so many won. It's not that many.
Winning is different, but like half of them are Pro Bowlers.
I got to do an ad read here. Y'all quiet down.
You're right. Sorry about that.
Jesus Christ. It's like running a madhouse. Appreciate you guys for tuning in and showing love to another episode of the Windy City Breeze we got to tell you guys about the easiest way to get in on all of this NFL action that we're talking here, and it's Underdog Fantasy and their pick'em game. Just pick higher or lower on your favorite or least favorite players' stats, and you can win up to 20 times your money in a single night. Underdog keeps it super simple with their easy-to-win website and mobile apps. Pick between 2 and 5 players. Fill out your pick'em entry and get every pick right and take home some cold, hard cash, ladies and gentlemen. All you have to do is use the promo code TWCB and get your first deposit match doubled up. Oh, hold on. That foul. There we go. There we go. Get your first deposit match doubled up to $500. That is the promo code TWCB, and you get your first deposit doubled up to $500. Appreciate you guys for showing love to the show and rocking with all the content. Make sure that you're also rocking with our sponsors here over at the Windy City Breeze. All right, boys. Now let's get back into and wrestle. Look at some of the edge rushers that we have available here, because I do think that this is the conversation, right? With the quarterbacks, with the defenses, with the drafting or trading for a quarterback, you still got to add in pieces. And I want to talk about some of the pieces that we do need to add to this team. A premier edge rusher is definitely of need for this team. And I mean, you got some good ones out there. Boys, what are your thoughts on going out in free agency and addressing edge rusher versus going out in the draft and addressing it?
So I compiled this list of the top 4 that I saw coming out. So to me, I looked at the age and of course the production. And I like for example, the tackles, like with DJ Wonnum or Brian Burns, and then, the 8 sacks and things of that nature, even Jonathan Greenard. So for what I was looking at was age and productivity, and these are the top 3. I only added Chase Young because
Josh Allen?
I didn't put based off age. So I look.
You're going with dudes under 30, baby, a lot under 30.
So, that we can keep, we can sign for a while. And Chase Young is also a prospect in the sense of, like, if you got him on for 1 year, almost kind of like how you did Yannick, 1 year deal, and you might be able to do a prove it kind of situation. This was my list that I put together.
Because Josh Allen is 27?
Josh Allen is 26.
Josh Allen, 26 years old. Yeah, I might have thrown.
What is that, from the Jaguars?
Yeah, from the Jaguars. I think another name that I'm always interested in, who seems to just hate where he's at, is Danielle Hunter.
There you go. Yep.
Like that is if I'm gonna take a risk on a guy who's got medical issues like a Chase Young or something like that, let me go get Danielle Hunter, somebody who's been on the field for 2 full seasons now and has actually proven it. The dominance. Here's my problem with edge rusher. I like all the names that are on that list. I don't think you can address that in free agency. I think free agency. I think you have to address edge rusher. In the draft. I don't think you can address that in free agency. You need to address 3 technique to me. I don't think you can draft another 3 technique and just say, yep, we're going to wait on this guy to develop. That's a linchpin of your defense. You need a guy there. You need a guy there who can make an impact no matter what if you're going to have continued success. It's cool that Montez Sweat did what he did this season. It's very cool that he was able to do that, but it's a lot easier for him to do that when you got a guy in the middle who's able to go out there and dominate. And it makes your linebackers' lives easier, your DBs' lives easier. Now, if you pay Jalen Johnson, it's worth it.
I still think, though, like when you look at the premier defensive tackles, I think back in the day, Ndamukong Suh, I'm thinking Warren Sapp. I miss Tommy Harris. I'm looking at, a lot of the BJ Raji that was in the Packers. Like, I'm looking at the guy that's the anchor of your D line. And I've seen the Bears. We signed Julius Peppers. We signed Adewale Ogunleye. I think they tried to go for Simeon Rice. They blew that. Like, I remember all that. Like, I think you can sign defensive ends, but finding that defensive tackle, that 3 technique, I'd rather draft that in the draft and then go sign a free agent.
There's only 2 good ones in the draft in the first couple of rounds. You got your guy Newton, and then I think Tavondre Sweat from Texas is like a 2nd round grade. That's literally the only other names. So if you want to pair sweat with sweat to be cool,
domination?
like okay.
We pairing a sweat up with a sweat and a sweat to sweat.
Sweat to
Pause.
That's the way you want to go.
let me. Can I ask this question? Like, I just thought that was a very pause-worthy statement right there. Anyway,
he was like, "Where the blood at?"
Hey, let me ask you all this though: is this one of those situations? Because I hear you say what you should draft and what you would get in free agency. Is this one of those situations where you would actually get your center in free agency? There are some decent centers in free agency, and you draft.
I think you're going out and you're getting another Lucas Patrick.
Yeah, I don't think
you're hoping to get a better version of Lucas Patrick. I think they're probably going to bring over Evan Brown from Seattle, and he's a 1-year deal while you develop a rookie center.
Look, Olin Kreutz became he's in Hall of Fame, but he should.
Olin Kreutz a Hall of Famer.
He's a Hall of Famer. So that's a third or fourth round pick, like as a center.
Yeah,
like we're talking about maybe a second round pick. There's two centers. I'd rather go get my guy that's going to be here. I like him next to Wright. I like Tevin, and if we got to live with Braxton, then we got to live with Braxton. But if that makes that center position helps make Davis a little bit better, and you got Tevin Jenkins doing this thing, as long as he stay on healthy, I think we're fixing a lot of those issues.
A lot of the general consensus around that is like you get experience on your front line for offense. Especially if you have a rookie QB to help him like that. We tried to do it with Justin Fields. It didn't work. So, like, ultimately, I guess that's the question. If it's not center, what else would you actually go out in free agency to shore that up? Because realistically, we may have a rookie quarterback.
Well, I mean, I think that's why you're talking about the best thing. I've said this many times. The best thing Ryan Pace ever did for Mitch Trubisky was go get Khalil Mack. Because it put him in short fields all the time. It allowed him to play in a shorter game. It allowed him to be able to attack less of the field. He didn't have to go 90 feet. The one problem Justin Fields had year one is Justin Fields is always going 90 feet. Problem he had in year two is he was always going 90 feet.
Or 90 yards. But nobody's counting
or 90 yards. Shut up, Jim. Hey, listen, I said it right. The first two offenses that we were in, we were only going 90 feet. But but no, I feel like that there is something to be said about still going out and getting defense that makes your quarterback's life easier. And I think that that's the one thing that I do want to see the Bears do. I think you do need to add that 3 technique. And like you said, the edge conversation to me is interesting because there's young game-changing pieces on the edge that can make your defense good for a long time.
We're talking about
Javon Dexter. Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying.
We're talking about a great. This defense could be even better than the 06 defense. This is the way they got that secondary cooking. The linebackers.
You talking about if they go in free agency and get a 3 tech?
If they fix the 3 linemen, the secondary is set. The linebackers are actually set.
Yeah.
They could go. They could get greedy. Like to me, also, just amuse me. My man over there, Antoine. The dude from Winfield. Like I would do that. I would go get that safety to be greedy.
Oh yeah,
like,
replace Eddie
on top. Oh, because I would rather put that money from Jalen there. Draft me another cornerback.
Now you know who available this year? Micah Hyde's out there, boys. 33 years old, a little bit older. You trying to develop a younger dude, though. But you developing a younger dude. You still need leadership on it. I love that we always want to get all the young guys. You need some vets.
Right in the middle. Just the mid.
You need some vets. You need some vets.
But 25,
Micah Hyde to me is a better performer on the field than Eddie. I mean, if you're talking about it being just 100%. A mentor, Eddie's cool. But yeah, Micah Hyde's performance would be way better than Eddie's because he's a better tackler.
And there's a confidence thing that you're adding in there. Now, listen, everybody's performance is better when there's pressure. And that's why I do think the edge rusher conversation is a good one to have. It's just where would you rather go draft? Where would you rather go free agency?
I think you go free agency for the linemen, for the defensive ends. You try to draft your tackle of the future. Otherwise, you're going to get if you can get fortunate.
You just got one in the second round. Who you hope is your tackle of the future.
We don't know. We don't know yet. I mean, you could be right. It might be that, Dexter is that guy. And so now we can focus. That would be great if they think that Dexter's the dude. Well, and we still need – go ahead.
I think that's why I say go out and get a strong vet at that position because how the Bears run their defense is platoon style, right? Like everybody get out, get a breather, get the next 4 in, right? They doing hockey lineups out here basically. I mean, they out here running. Get the cone heads out there. Wait a minute.
I need Vegas sports to relax. I'm saying that they could build potentially a great defense. We're not there yet, but if we do it, they potentially can make one better than that 06
whole
defense.
Paragraph just for you.
Hey, I'm here.
He said, "Come on,
I'm
dude.
here. I'm here.
Come on, man.
Come on, dude. Get out of here, man."
Hey, why was that the act that you went with on that one?
Come on, dude.
Why'd you choose that voice?
It's all good Vegas sports. We're all passionate Bears fans.
And there's room. I think what I do love about all of this, and I say this every time we have one of these conversations, everybody gets into it and everybody's in a tizzy, and for some reason we question his sexuality based on supporting a quarterback. Like I never get that. I had to block. I've never blocked people until mugs start coming with like all the homophobic slurs in this mug for like being a Justin Fields fan. Like that mess is crazy, dog. And then the flip side is, hey, y'all Justin Fields fans ain't free. Y'all sitting here talking wild about Caleb Williams painting his fingernails. I don't care if he paints his fingernails, getting the painted fingernails, throw a 60-yard dime on a dot to Marvin Harrison Jr. for a touchdown. That's all I'm asking. Anyway.
Hey, you see, Pat just said it. Hey, listen, Caleb Williams and MHJ, there we go. That's it. That's it. In the show now.
Hey, listen, I'm gonna tell you this. I'm gonna tell you this right now. You know how much draft capital we have to get back up to 3. We'll be able to get that 9 pick. We have to give us a 2. Nah, I'm okay. Like let me get a Rome Odunze
and Justin Fields.
Let me get a Rome Odunze.
Give you the 9th pick and Justin Fields for him.
Hey, but you know what, Joe? I'm looking at this spot track. The 3 techniques that might be coming out in the free agency. We already know about Chris Jones, but you got some pretty good names on this list that are undrafted free agents. You got Sheldon Rankins, you got DJ Reader, you got Javon Kinlaw, Christian Wilkins. So you could go that route.
I'm just, my thing is we just want the best players that we can get in there at the right price where you can build a team. And the issue is that you still got to factor in those cap hits. So if you're able to draft and save that money so you can actually build a squad, because once everybody starts getting paid, now you got attrition. Now you got a situation where some people aren't going to be here. Some people are going to get left. They can't afford to, or you got to give them some big. Right. It just is what it is. So let's
NFL.
Let's just get the team built.
Yeah, they tell you every year, hey, don't get attached to everybody. Some of them ain't gonna be here. Kinlaw's another good. I don't think Kinlaw gonna make it though. Kinlaw getting brought back. Kinlaw's another good underrated name. I like him, but like, I don't.
And some of these guys that we're looking at, they may resign. That doesn't mean they're coming here.
I can't put Leonidas' comment on the screen, but that would be hilarious, bro. If he throw a touchdown with his fingernails painted with that on it.
To be, I own you.
No, it's just FGB on the middle.
That'd be dope.
Yeah.
Oh no! Hey, everybody would be all in on Caleb. Then they'd be like, "Hey, get this guy a ball.
He's not bad. Yeah.
We know what he's on." Oh man,
I think Bears fans are going to be Bears fans. I mean, that's the whole point is we want to root for the Chicago Bears. Period. So if Fields is gone, we got to deal with it, and then we're going to have Caleb. Are you not going to back Chicago?
Hey,
that is the weirdest thing. Mudge really do believe that. They be like, Pat, what are you gonna do if Justin Fields is traded? It's like I'm
turn on the TV and watch the Bears game.
Over the draft. Man.
I mean, Caleb Williams is going to be a good quarterback. I mean, that ain't the issue. It's just, obviously is the argument whether or not you're going to get a lot for Caleb Williams and that number 1 overall pick, or, are you going to just take what's called the generational quarterback? I mean, I've accepted it. It's fine. Whichever way to decide to go. I know Paris likes that.
Hey, I just love seeing it just slowly but surely.
I feel bad.
Man, gosh away.
Now you
don't
know
give him the satisfaction, Calvin. Stay with your JFK, baby.
Me and Kid been doing this so long, so we used to this. But like, C-Dub done put like his heart out there on tape, but Justin like.
Yeah, he said Justin's going to be the next Mahomes. He's going to be the next Mahomes.
He might not be here. It's just like you can see it like draining him a little bit every time.
Slowly but surely.
Honestly,
I did that with Mitch.
Honestly, bro, I had to just like accept it, bro. Like, I've been just thinking about it more and more, and it's just like everybody's reporting it, and it's like the tea leaves are really kind of showing. I think the Bears are going to take Caleb Williams, unless.
Here we go. Here we go.
Sources.
He has hope.
Wait, what? Hey, what did Dr. Strange do? Iron Man.
He put up the one. You got 1%
that 1 in 4 million chance. Washington comes with a haul and say, "Hey, man, listen, you ain't got no choice but to take all this."
I'm gonna tell you what's
that pick.
I'm gonna just give you like some insight, like because this is what it takes to be a Chicago fan, not just a Bears fan, just a Chicago fan. Nothing's gonna hurt you more than to stand on this hill, be right temporarily, and be completely wrong at the end of the day.
Yeah, look at him. Look at Kid. His face been drained ever since
Fam,
Kobe White
I
got
died on that Mitchell Trubisky hill.
Hey, Kid been dying every day.
I died by myself.
So you learned your lesson.
I died that day.
Hey,
So
he went to Buffalo. I was like, he had a good game. I was riding that high. Trubisky sucks, dog.
Hey, bro.
Hey, listen.
I mean,
Nothing's
come on,
gonna hurt
dude.
you
Yeah.
more than if
This
Justin
man
Fields
went
turns
to-
out to
I was
be
at that
exactly
game,
who
too.
he is today.
I was at that game.
Hey, bro, this man went to he watched Mitch. When Mitch got in Buffalo, I called him immediately. Bro, that man Mitch got one snap because Buffalo was winning by so much. He dropped back instantly, threw it into triple coverage. No receiver was right there. I called Kid before the ball hit the ground, bro. I was like, listen, dog. Listen, what you doing, dog?
Hey,
Get
the
off
balls
this
in the
hill,
air that
bro.
long?
Bro, I'm talking about this man was terrible, bro. He still is. It is what it is. But no, listen, I like that's really what talking sports is. You gon' die on a hill. I'm gonna die on the Justin Fields hill. Guess what?
Yeah.
If he go to the next team, I'm gonna believe he gonna be successful there.
I'm gonna watch him.
Yeah, we'll see. Yeah, I mean, I hope he goes to a good team. I hope he's successful. I hope he don't beat the Bears one time and we dominate him by 60 if he does get traded. I don't know. But
Craig called me a ghost again.
No, Dark Mind talking about unless there's a video of Caleb Williams snorting coke off the back of a newborn baby. He's getting and his grandmother's there. Evidence. His grandmother's there.
Hey, bro. Hey, but I'll tell you this: when you actually get proven right, it's the greatest thing in the world, bro. With being on the Kobe White team, dog. I was off for a little bit, but I just like Kid, I got back on the train.
I love me.
Yeah, I mean,
see, in basketball, I was like to change my take season to season.
I said Kobe was gonna be him.
Hey, I definitely had a couple games where I said trade Kobe. I snapped on Kobe one game, boy. That man went like 0 for 16 and was sitting there talking about clap it up. Oh, that's where I got this from. Hold on, where is that?
That's where it came from. Clap it up.
Clap it up. Bro, they even talk about a UNC game. Oh, I was hot. It is what it is. Do we want to do the Zach LaVine topic real quick, or is that enough, dog?
Hey, dog.
I'd rather do best and worst.
Hey, best and worst is easy. Grammys.
That's part of it.
The Grammys.
Yeah.
The Grammys.
My cousin Landon, what up, baby? What up, cuz?
Hey, it's still to me the fact that Dan Orlovsky had a better accuracy performance than Tua Baker Mayfield.
Oh, you talk about at the Pro Bowl?
Pro Bowl. That man didn't even. That man was in jeans or in a long sleeve, and his shirt was still tucked in.
Hey, listen. You want to know what I've realized, right? Every now and then, every dog have their day. Orlovsky's had so much time to practice on stuff like that because he ain't been in the NFL. They worried about hitting receivers. He worried about hitting targets to do good on TV.
You right.
I missed most of that. Are you telling me he was actually a quarterback playing?
Dan Orlovsky?
Yeah,
he was playing.
It's a joke.
I missed.
No. He didn't play in the Pro Bowl. You know they do the skills challenges.
Oh, okay.
Side. He was.
So he did like when you got to throw and hit the target. Hey, Dan killed it though. Dan definitely killed it. Dan killed it. My best of the weekend. You know what I'm gonna say? My best of the weekend is real hip hop actually winning.
Yep.
I ain't gonna say anybody listen to that Killer Mike album. Listen. I'm not gonna sit here and lie and tell anybody that anybody listened to that Killer Mike album, or that it's the most listened to album, or that it should have won that award. But Killer Mike is real hip hop. Killer Mike is coming with bars every single track. He's coming with hip hop beats. He's sitting there sending you a message in every song. Real hip hop won at the Grammys, and I'm not going to be mad about that. I like the albums. I'm not going to tell you that anybody else like the albums.
No, so clearly the chat don't.
Hey, bro, I guarantee you, has anybody else listened to the album?
No,
I think I heard one song because of Andre 3000.
I didn't even know it was out.
I
heard he won some.
Good album. Okay. It's a good album, but real hip hop won versus just mainstream hip hop. Because I ain't gonna lie, Drake or her loss, man. What was the other album that was up for nomination? Was it Doja Cat's album was up for nomination? I couldn't listen to it. Too much devil music.
I think
SZA was up.
Oh, SZA.
Well, that's not hip
He
hop.
won Song of the Year, I think.
Hip hop.
Hip hop.
I mean,
He won Song of the Year.
Hey, Terezo said, "Who is he for real? For real?" Hey, listen, everybody go. Molly Mall Killer Mike got an album out.
Dang.
Hey,
I didn't. Hey, I agree with him. I didn't know.
Hey, when y'all said he won, I was like, he produced something? Like, that's what I thought immediately. Like,
Hey, and then he got sent to jail right after.
He didn't get sent to jail. He did get detained. I believe there's some conspiracy with that. I ain't gonna
detained.
lie.
Yeah, I saw him
Hey,
walking
because
out.
you
Yeah, he
knew
was in
Killer Mike
cuffs.
was
My
gonna
bad.
get up there and he was gonna spit a black message. You knew what was coming. Them white folks was like, "Get the police over here right now. We got a black man on the stage."
Give a dog a bone. He's about to give us
What
the
else y'all
ones
got? What was y'all? What was
I
y'all?
watched
best
the
of
Grand. I
weekend?
thought Travis. The worst for me was Travis Scott's performance. I was like, I don't get it.
I don't get it.
I don't get it. I don't. I just don't.
You know what Travis Scott is, and my boy showed this to me. He said, if you ain't got at least 3 subs in your house,
Yes, Vegas.
it's not gonna be right.
King's Disease.
King Disease 3. I actually haven't heard that. I had King Disease 2 on
Now I heard that album. Fire
Now
album.
here's the
I
thing.
heard
Here's the
that
thing.
one.
Fire album.
I'm not.
Hey,
I'm not gonna lie. I would have been fine with King's Disease winning 2. I'm just glad that real hip hop won.
Real hip hop.
I'm fine with any of it. Like I'm just glad real hip hop got awards.
I'm with that.
Andre 3000's Flute album should have won.
Shout out to Jay-Z.
Take him off. Just mute
Hey,
him.
hey, did you go listen to him?
I love him
And
some
he gonna
Andre
be
3000, man. Hey, man,
I
I
can
love
see
him
him
some
on
Andre
the
3, bro.
JC, what's your best of the
Actually,
weekend?
my best and worst of the weekend is kind of paired together. So I'll just say it both real quick. Caitlin Clark moved into second all-time scoring on Women's Division I basketball. She's I think like 50-something points behind Kelsey Plum to go first overall ever. And I think she's actually also going to like maybe beat out who's the LSU legend for the men's Pete Maravich. So that's big time for her. Caitlin Clark is a beast. And then on the flip side, the worst of the weekend is Cheryl Swoops, one of my favorite all-time players. She actually got on Gil Arenas' podcast and dogged Caitlin Clark and came up with all these non-factual statements. She did, because she basically was saying, well, okay, I'll put it like this. She said
didn't
that
dog her. Let's not do that.
She said, okay, I'll put it in context. She said that her and Angel Reese are not going to be as dominant when they get to the next level. I disagree. But then she also mentioned these non-factual stats that she had to track back at the end of the interview. So bad on her.
She didn't dog her right. She said they're not going to be able to do this right away because of how much of a killer be killed league the WNBA is. Because I ain't going to lie, you can get drafted in the WNBA and they'll cut you after training camp.
That's a fact. I've seen it a couple times on the Sky.
That's a fact.
I got a best too.
What's your best Hope?
I saw the Greatest Night in Pop on Netflix when they talked about We Are the
How
World.
was it? Yeah.
That was good.
Oh, yeah,
it was really good. It was cold because it's Mike. Like I missed that whole time period of like, and Mike and Lionel basically came up with the the song and we're kind of getting it together. But Mike, just hearing like pristine Mike, 1983, 84 Mike, and he was in the studio. Like they had all this stuff going on in the background. It was a really good story. So that was my best.
I gotta check that out. What's your best seat up?
My best is similar to JC's, man, but like shout out to the not to the WNBA, but to women's college basketball. I mean, you just gotta look at the fact that they're more popular than the WNBA, and I even argue that they're right now more popular than the NCAA from the men's side. Caitlin Clark is doing things we ain't never seen before. I mean, shooting threes from the logo, and Juju Watkins putting up 51 points. I mean, that's some real big time scoring. So shout out to those ladies. But my worst,
Sorry, you go. Sorry.
Oh, you good, bro? My worst though, man, it's got to go. Is these guys, man? It's my worst. And this hits home hard for me, bro, because I'm Basketball is my favorite sport. Bulls come first.
With it, dribble up and
I
down.
was just thinking that.
Oh, yeah.
He walked right into that.
I like it when they dribble up and down the court. No, but it's my number one team, man. My number one love, bro. And just to look at where we were, we had Jimmy Butler, bro. We had Jimmy Butler. We decided to trade him because he wasn't the guy. That's what we were told. And then we decided to trade him, and we get.
They literally said, we don't know how to build around this guy. 26 points a game, 8 rebounds. I don't know what to do with that guy.
They don't know what to do with them. So they trade them, and they get these pieces, and these pieces seem solid. And then these pieces don't pan out. We get rid of Marketing, and Marketing turns out to be a star. We draft Wendell Carter Jr., and we trade him for Vooch, and we give away 2 first-round picks. And now we got this with Zach LaVine and Vooch, and we got DeMar DeRozan. And these guys ain't going to be on the team in the next year or two. And we're going to be back in this, like, perpetuary HE double hockey sticks. And it's just, in the last 7-8 years, bro, we have one playoff win, and that was against Milwaukee Bucks. We won one game, and that's it. And for me, the worst goes to the Bulls, and now we can't even trade Zach LaVine. I'm done.
Hey, the fact that you fell into that passionate mode again, I'm trying to tell you, man, it's about being a Chicago fan. You have to take the fact that you're going to suck for a very long time. It's just what it is, man. It's just welcome to content creation, man. You're going to have to hold this L with the rest of us because, that was my worst too. But actually, I'm going to tell you what, as dual for one, my best was my daughter picked up a cello beginning of the school year, decided that she wanted to get into band and orchestra and all right. She can actually play and keep up with the rest of the kids that have been doing it for 2 years. So, like, shout out to her winning gold.
Natural talent, baby. Natural.
Right.
My daughter actually signed up for track. So I was like, what? Yeah. So
quick pause, brother.
Kids out here trying to do some big things, man. So the fact that she was able to pick up that instrument and actually do well, I'm extremely proud of her.
The flag.
I encourage her to continue to challenge herself. But the best for me, secondly, though, is the fact that Zach LaVine did get injured. I'm gonna tell you why. There you go. Here we go. Right.
We appreciate y'all for tuning in and showing love to another episode.
Yeah, I'm gonna bring myself back here. There we go. Yeah, there we go. There we go.
The best thing is that a player got injured is not a good way to say that. I know the points you're gonna make, but you gotta find a better way to say that. Jesus Christ!
No. Let me explain. It's the way that they worded it. It said Clutch Sports and Zach LaVine decided to have this surgery. I mean, that's all I'm saying. Randomly, Zach LaVine
you sent me to Detroit. Let me take my leg off real quick.
Zach LaVine could probably have played, dog. That's all I'm saying. Zach LaVine was like, y'all gonna trade me to Detroit for real? Nah. I'm gonna sit here and go ahead and have the season into surgery. You hold this L, and guess what? That's exactly what AK gets.
Hey, that man Scottie Pippen does, bro. He said, you're not gonna F up my summer.
Man, listen, on God, like this for real. Let's be for real. AK is trying to build this out like he did in Denver. Guess what? You can do that in Denver when the lights ain't as bright because it's Denver. Ain't nobody checking for Denver. Denver's relevant, but that ain't Chicago. When you in Chicago, we expect more, even though we haven't had it. You can't do that here. You don't got 10 years of mediocrity. You ain't got that here. So I'm sorry. You can't do that. That's what AK gets for thinking he can do that. You're not Ryan Poles, my G. Get to work. Make some trades.
Bro. We've been bad for 18 out of the 23 years of the 2000s.
Fam, but in my mind,
nobody's checking for Chicago either, dog. Nobody's checking for us either.
That hurts, bro. 18 out of the last 20-some years, bro.
18 out of the 23 years, we've been bad. We had a nice little run with Zach LaVine and with
Derrick Rose.
No one told you to come with the actual stats. We believe we were champions, and that's it. You need to leave that part alone, right?
No,
come on.
We believed. Who this we is. My worst of the weekend also goes to the Grammys. Taylor Swift snubbed Celine Dion, where you do you get a Grammy. She announced her, you get a Grammy, and then people hug you and thank you for the Grammy. Oh my God, Celine Dion. You could have snubbed the ghost of Michael Jackson. That's basically same level of fame right there. Celine Dion is we don't even see Celine Dion no more. We don't even see Celine Dion no more. She showed up to give you an award and snubbed her in the hug in front of everybody. Hugged everybody else. Snubbed her with the hug. I hope Travis Kelce loses in the Super Bowl. I actually don't. I want them to win, but now just because of that, hope she loses.
I'm rooting for the 49ers. Jeez.
What the heck does that have to do with Kelce? Kelce
Kelsey
don't even know who Celine Dion is. What are we talking about?
No, I guarantee you Travis Kelce know who Celine Dion is. Nah, that was my worst. It wasn't a lot of bad this weekend. I ain't gonna lie. Killer Mike is probably also the worst for them arresting him. That was crazy. But I don't think there was anything worse.
Only thing worse than that is Nicki Minaj trying to carry on this beef that just don't seem to be catching fire.
Yeah,
I don't even know about it.
Let it go.
Oh, you know what? That is the worst of the weekend. I take that back. Worse than Celine Dion. Y'all not taking the fade from black people, bro. Trying to say Travis Kelce invented the fade. No.
Oh, the Kelce fade?
The Kelce
Absolutely
fade.
not.
No.
Know what they're saying?
Hey, listen, hey, Joe, there's 17 black dudes behind you with fades on right now.
I know I had
a fade.
They said yes. They said that Travis Kelce invented the fade.
How old is Travis Kelce again?
26.
They did not say that.
Nah, he like 32.
They're trying to say that his
Yeah.
style is catching on across the nation. That is the most requested haircut now.
I mean, that's
Style
been out forever. Like
appropriation is crazy.
Hey, bro.
How do you appropriate a haircut,
bro? How's it the most
Exactly, Dan Tanner. MLK had a fade in the 60s.
Yeah, I mean, how's it the most requested haircut now ever when literally probably 30 black dudes a day per barbershop walk in and go, let me get a fade.
Because now the majority wants that.
Touch me up with
because the majority, not this side, that side is trying to do it.
Little palm action. Appreciate you guys for tuning in and showing love. Hit that like button, subscribe to the page.
What? Well, I gotta go.
Yeah, I gotta go.
Y'all know what to do, man. Appreciate you guys for staying up late with us and showing so much love. Sorry for the technical difficulties. We will have we'll be ready to go. New news tomorrow. We'll be ready to go tomorrow with more Bears and Bulls content. Hit that like button, subscribe to the page. Y'all stay safe out there, Chicago. One love. Peace.